The Clumsily Clueless Kockamame Clown Show Kosho, April 2021.
This is where Jeremy gets it wrong. You don't leave an reference frame and enter another reference frame.
So you're saying I can't leave a reference frame and enter another? So I can't jump off a swing onto the ground and enter a reference frame that's not swinging? Do you reminisce with complete strangers? You're an imbecile!
You're always in all reference frames.
Village idiot.
So when I jump off the swing, I'm still in the swinging reference frame? And in the Hunt for Red October cavitating reference frame? And in the Felix Baumgartner Planet New Mexico reference frame? And Auntie M's Twister reference frame? And in Xanax Spinning Hot Tub Torpedo reference frame? Ad infinitum. All at the same time? Eh?
You big dummy!
You're an imbecile!
A reference frame is simply where something's being observed from.
Wrong. From isaacphysics.org, in cooperation with the University of Cambridge. A frame of reference is a set of coordinates that can be used to determine positions and velocities of objects in that frame. Different frames of reference move relative to one another. You're an imbecile!
So if you throw the bottle, across the merry-go-round, then only from the inertial reference frame outside of the rotating system, only in that reference frame do you see the true motion, or I wouldn't even call it true motion.
I would call it that.
But you see the motion of the bottle going in a straight line. But from that rotating reference frame, you're going to see the bottle have a curved path. And both of those are correct. They're both correct.
They're both correct. So the bottle is following a curved path and moving straight at the same time? KlownShow. Doofus law of non-contradiction violation. The person on the rotating reference frame throwing the bottle will see the bottle appear to curve. But the bottle's not actually curving. It only appears to curve because the person on the rotating merry-go-round is rotating. I.e., he's curving, not the bottle. You're an imbecile.
Because it's not, you're explaining what you're explaining, Jeremy, from the context of two different, totally different things. One, we'll call one thing the object and one thing the observer. No, the observer is the person jumping off the rotating thing and viewing it again or whatever. The observer is the one viewing what's happening. Okay? The object is the thing that you're describing the path or the motion of or whatever.
You seem as if you like to talk. I like to let people talk who like to talk. It makes it easier to find out how full of shit they are.
You need to be institutionalized. 'Cause you're an imbecile.
So, you right.
You right.
You right. The observer can change reference frames.
That's not what you said a few minutes ago. You said
you don't leave an reference frame and enter another reference frame. So, you right.
You right.
You right. The observer can change reference frames. You don't leave an reference frame and enter another reference frame.
So you're not only an imbecile, you're a fork-tongued double-speaker.
You're actually just describing different reference frames at that point. This is what everybody understands.
Reductio ad absurdum. Reductio ad absurdum is employed to reduce your claim down using correct reasoning to expose logical fallacies. In this case, it's two fallacies. Flailing generalized baseless bare assertion fallacy and an ad populum fallacy. You said, this is what everybody understands. I'm going to head across the street and ask 5-year-old Maverick if he understands your imbecilic reference frame horseshit. How much you want to bet he starts laughing or runs away? Or both? Then I'm going to head next door and ask Granny Wilkerson. She'll most likely call the cops. The really scary part, KlownShow Kosho? This is the least of your dumpster fire train wreck imbecileries.
This is what reference frames are describing observations made from these reference frames. So the object, though, is not going to change reference frames.
What the dude? So I'm holding on to a ball on a spinning merry-go-round. Then I throw the ball off the merry-go-round. Your conclusion. The ball didn't change reference frames. It's still spinning with me on the merry-go-round.
You big
imbecile!
It's the observer that can change reference frames, not an object.
Dear Lord, save us.
So there's a person on the merry-go-round, and there's another observer off the merry-go-round. One of them is going to appear to see the same bottle go in a straight path, and one of them is going to appear to see the bottle go in a curved path.
Correct, because the observers are in two different reference frames.
Okay, from both of their observations, they're making observations of the same bottle in two different reference frames.
Correct, because the observers are in two different reference frames.
Bottle exists in both reference frames.
boom.
No, sunshine. The observers exist in two different reference frames, not the bottle.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
You're an imbecile.
Otherwise, they wouldn't both be witnessing it.
What on earth? They're both witnessing it, Krayon Muncher, because they have eyeballs and they're looking at it. Not because the bottle's in two different reference frames. You think this magic genie bottle is in superposition of itself?
No, that's what I'm saying. But you saying, does it leave one reference frame and go to another one? Doesn't make sense. The bottle exists in infinite reference frames.
Yeah, right. I'd say there's a better chance of Liberace being resurrected sporting a purple tutu and jumping on a chartreuse-hobbled unicorn and riding around the Sombrero Galaxy reference frame. Your belly-laughing childlike ignorance exists in infinite reference frames.
In the context of the ball, Jeremy, when you throw it off of the merry-go-round, what reference frame is it in?
The inertial reference frame.
So it just switched reference frames.
Yes.
Now, how come when you view that ball, what person on the rotating frame, the person viewing it sees it go in a curved path?
It's an apparent deflection, as in not actual curve.
And the person in the inertial reference frame sees it going in a straight path.
Correct.
So it's obviously not just in one reference frame.
Nah, Mr. Magoo. You just have two people in different reference frames observing the ball in a single reference frame. You are one dizzy motherfucker. You need to be subdued forcefully by the authorities, horse and elephant tranquilized without cessation, straight-jacketed, secured to a one reference frame padded room, then emergency lobotomized. Now, you're a danger to yourself and others.
It still exists in both reference frames.
Hey. Hello. It's for you.
Yeah? You've just been erased.